Welcome back. I'm really glad you're here today. Take a slow breath with me, just for a moment. Inhale gently, and then exhale. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face soften. You don't have to rush anywhere right now. You don't have to prove anything. You are here, and that is enough. Today, I want to talk about something simple, but very real. Why do I always feel tired, even after sleeping? Maybe you've asked yourself that question before. Maybe you've opened your eyes in the morning, looked at the ceiling, and felt that heavy feeling in your body. Not pain, not sickness, just heaviness. You slept, maybe 7 hours, maybe 8, but still, you feel tired. And sometimes, it's not just your body that feels tired. It's your mind, your heart, your motivation. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something first. You are not lazy. You are not weak. And you are not alone. I remember a morning not long ago. I woke up before my alarm. The room was still quiet. The sky outside my window was pale blue, almost gray. It was early. I stayed in bed and stared at the ceiling. I had slept for almost 8 hours. I should have felt fresh. I should have felt ready. But I didn't. My eyes felt heavy. My arms felt slow. Even my thoughts felt thick, like they were moving through water. I turned off the alarm before it rang. I lay there and thought, why am I still so tired? Have you ever had that thought? Say it softly with me. Why am I still so tired? Try saying it slowly. Why am I still so tired? Notice how it feels in your mouth. Notice the rhythm. I am still so tired. Still so tired. Sometimes we think sleep is just about time. We think, if I sleep longer, I will feel better. If I go to bed earlier, I will wake up with energy. And yes, sleep is important. Very important. But tiredness is not always about sleep. That morning, as I lay in bed, I realized something. My body had rested, but my mind had not. The night before, I had been thinking about many things: work, messages I didn't answer, a conversation that felt uncomfortable, a small mistake I made that day. Even when I turned off the light, my mind kept moving. It kept replaying. It kept planning. It kept worrying. Have you ever gone to bed, but your mind did not go to bed with you? Let's say that sentence together. My body was in bed, but my mind was still awake. Try repeating it. My body was in bed, but my mind was still awake. This is a very common experience. We lie down, we close our eyes, but inside, we are still running. And when we wake up, we feel tired, because we never truly stopped. I want to tell you another small story. A few years ago, I met a student who always looked exhausted. He was kind, polite, hard-working, but every time we spoke, he said the same thing. I'm so tired. One day, I asked him gently, how many hours do you sleep? He said 7, sometimes 8. I asked, do you use your phone before bed? He smiled, a little embarrassed. Yes, a lot. He told me he watched videos, scrolled through social media, checked messages, read comments, compared himself to other people. He said he needed it to relax. But when he put his phone down, his mind was full of images, full of noise, full of comparison. He fell asleep, but his brain did not feel calm. In English, we sometimes say, "My mind is racing." My mind is racing. Repeat after me. My mind is racing. It means your thoughts are moving very fast, too fast. Maybe at night your mind is racing too, even if your body is still. And then in the morning, you wake up tired. Not because you didn't sleep, but because you didn't feel safe enough to truly rest. I want you to think about that word. Rest. Not just sleep. Rest. Sleep is when your eyes are closed. Rest is when your nervous system feels safe. Sleep is physical. Rest is emotional. Sometimes we are physically asleep, but emotionally awake. We are protecting ourselves. We are thinking. We are planning. And that protection takes energy. Maybe you feel tired because you are carrying too much. Not in your hands, but in your heart. Let me share something personal. There was a period in my life when I felt tired every single day. It didn't matter how long I slept. I always woke up with a heavy chest and slow energy. At first, I thought, maybe I need vitamins. Maybe I need more coffee. So I drank more coffee. But coffee only makes your body move faster. It doesn't make your heart lighter. One evening, I sat quietly and asked myself a difficult question. What am I carrying that I haven't put down? Try saying that question. What am I carrying that I haven't put down? That question changed something for me. I realized I was trying to be strong all the time. I was trying to solve everyone's problems. I was trying to be responsible, reliable, calm. But inside, I was tired. Tired of being strong. Tired of not asking for help. Tired of pretending I was fine. Maybe you felt that too. In English, we say, "I'm holding it together." I'm holding it together. It means you are trying not to fall apart. You are controlling your emotions. You are staying strong. Repeat it softly. I'm holding it together. But holding it together takes energy. When you hold your breath for a long time, you get tired. When you hold your emotions for a long time, you also get tired. So sometimes, the reason you feel tired is not because you didn't sleep. It's because you didn't let go. I remember the first time I allowed myself to say, "I'm not okay." Just that sentence. I'm not okay. Simple. Clear. Honest. When I said it out loud to a close friend, I felt something in my body change. My shoulders relaxed. My breathing became slower. I had been carrying the pressure alone, and when I shared it, even a little, the weight became lighter. And the next morning, I didn't feel completely new. But I felt less heavy, less tired. Let's practice that phrase. I'm not okay. Say it gently. I'm not okay. And now another one. I need rest. I need rest. Not just sleep. Rest. Sometimes we think we are tired because we are weak. But maybe we are tired because we have been strong for too long. Think about your days. Do you rush from one task to another? Do you check your phone while eating? Do you think about tomorrow while still living today? Do you criticize yourself for small mistakes? Each of these small actions uses energy, tiny pieces of energy, and by the end of the day, you are empty. There is another English expression I want to share with you. I feel drained, like a battery with no power. Repeat it. I feel drained. Maybe you don't feel sleepy. Maybe you feel drained. Drained by expectations. Drained by comparison. Drained by trying to keep up. There is a difference between sleepy and drained. Sleepy means your body needs sleep. Drained means your soul needs gentleness. I remember walking home one evening after a long day. The sky was orange and pink. People were talking, laughing, driving past me. Life was moving. But inside, I felt quiet. Very quiet. Not peaceful quiet. Empty quiet. I realized I had not truly paused all day, not even once. I had moved from one responsibility to another, from one conversation to the next. Even when I sat down, I was thinking about the next thing. So that night, I tried something simple. I turned off my phone an hour before bed. I made tea. I sat by the window. I did nothing. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Silence can feel loud when you're not used to it. But slowly, my breathing changed. My thoughts became slower. And when I went to bed, I felt softer. The next morning, I still felt a little tired. But not the same kind of tired. It was a physical tired, not an emotional one. And that felt different. Sometimes, the reason we feel tired is because we are disconnected. Disconnected from our bodies. Disconnected from our feelings. Disconnected from what we actually need. We think we need productivity, but maybe we need permission. Permission to rest. Permission to say no. Permission to do less. Say that sentence with me. I give myself permission to rest. Try it again. I give myself permission to rest. When you learn English, you are not just learning vocabulary. You are learning how to describe your inner world. If you can say, I feel overwhelmed, you understand yourself better. If you can say, I feel burned out, you can ask for support. Burned out. That's another important phrase. I feel burned out. It means you are emotionally exhausted. Repeat it slowly. Burned out. Sometimes, people who feel tired all the time are not lazy. They are burned out. And burnout doesn't always come from work. It can come from being the strong one in your family, from worrying about money, from trying to be perfect, from always trying to make others proud. All of that takes energy. And if you never refill your energy, you wake up tired, even after sleeping. There is also something gentle I want to mention. Sometimes constant tiredness can be physical. It can be medical. It can be something your body needs help with. And if you feel tired every single day for a long time, it's okay to talk to a doctor. It's okay to check your health. Taking care of your body is not weakness. It's responsibility. But often, for many of us, tiredness is a signal. A quiet signal. Your body is whispering, slow down. Your heart is whispering, listen to me. Your mind is whispering, I need peace. We live in a world that celebrates busy. Busy is impressive. Busy is productive. Busy is admired. But busy is not always healthy. I once met an older man in a small park. He was sitting on a bench, watching the trees move in the wind. I sat near him. After a while, he said to me, "Young people are always tired because they never stop thinking about the future." I smiled. He said, "When I was young, I was always tired too, not because I worked hard, but because I worried hard." That sentence stayed with me. I worried hard. Try repeating it. I worried hard. Worry is invisible work. It doesn't look like effort, but it consumes energy. Maybe you are not physically overworked. Maybe you are mentally overworked. Always thinking. Always planning. Always imagining problems. And your brain never rests. What if tonight you tried something small? Before bed, instead of checking your phone, you ask yourself one question. What went well today? Just one thing. Maybe it was small. Maybe you drank enough water. Maybe you finished one task. Maybe you smiled at someone. Say that phrase. Something went well today. When your mind focuses only on problems, it stays in danger mode. When your mind notices good things, it feels safer. And safety allows rest. I want you to imagine something now. Imagine you are lying in bed tonight. The lights are off. The room is quiet. Instead of replaying your mistakes, you whisper to yourself, "I did my best today." Try saying it. I did my best today. Not perfect. Not amazing. Just your best. Sometimes we feel tired because we never feel finished. We go to sleep feeling incomplete. Like we didn't do enough. Like we should have done more. But what if enough was enough? Enough is another powerful word. Enough. Say it slowly. Enough. I am enough. I did enough. Today was enough. There is something very healing about that word. Maybe tomorrow you will still feel a little tired. That's okay. Energy is not always high. Life has seasons. Some seasons are active and bright. Some seasons are slow and quiet. If you are in a tired season, maybe it is not a failure. Maybe it is a message. Maybe it is time to reduce the noise, to protect your sleep, to speak your truth, to ask for help, to forgive yourself. When I stopped fighting my tiredness, something changed. Instead of saying, "Why am I like this?" I started saying, "What do I need right now? What do I need right now?" Repeat it softly. What do I need right now? Sometimes the answer is sleep. Sometimes the answer is a walk. Sometimes the answer is a conversation. Sometimes the answer is doing nothing. You are not a machine. You are not a productivity system. You are a human being. And humans need more than sleep. They need connection. They need meaning. They need rest that reaches the heart. If you feel tired even after sleeping, Please don't judge yourself immediately. Instead, become curious. Ask gentle questions. Listen carefully. Your tiredness is not your enemy. It might be your teacher. And as you learn English, you are also learning how to name your feelings, how to describe your experiences, how to say clearly and calmly, "I need something different." That is powerful. That is growth. Maybe tonight you will go to bed with a softer heart. Maybe tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, you will still feel a little heavy. But maybe you will also feel a little more understanding. And understanding is lighter than judgment. Thank you for sitting with me in this quiet conversation. Thank you for being honest about your tiredness. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are learning. Slowly, gently, bravely. And before we end today, I want to stay with you a little longer. Because tiredness is not just a physical feeling. It's often a quiet story we've been living for a long time. Sometimes, when you feel tired even after sleeping, it's because you never truly feel off. Even on your days off, your mind is still on. Even during rest, you are preparing for the next demand. Maybe you wake up and the first thing you do is reach for your phone. Not because you want to, but because you feel you have to. Messages, notifications, news, responsibilities. Before your feet even touch the floor, your brain is already working. And that small moment matters. The first 5 minutes of your morning can shape the next 5 hours. I used to wake up and immediately check everything: emails, messages, updates. I told myself it was efficient. I told myself I was being responsible. But what I was really doing was sending a message to my body: we are already behind. And when you start your day feeling behind, you start your day in stress. Stress is not always loud. It's not always panic. Sometimes it's just a quiet tension in your chest, a tight jaw, shallow breathing. And that tension stays with you all day. So when you go to sleep, your body lies down, but the tension stays. And when you wake up, you feel tired. Not because you didn't sleep, but because you never released the tension. There's a gentle phrase I want you to practice. I will start slowly. Say it with me. I will start slowly. Not lazily, not carelessly. Slowly. Imagine waking up tomorrow and not touching your phone for the first 10 minutes. Just sitting, just breathing, just noticing the light in your room. Notice the air on your skin. Notice the sound outside. Say quietly, "Good morning." Good morning. Not to anyone else, to yourself. That small kindness changes something inside you. I once spent a weekend in a small town near the mountains. No loud traffic, no busy schedule, just trees, sky, and long, quiet walks. The first night, I slept deeply. The second night, even deeper. On the third morning, I woke up before the sun. I felt clear, not excited, not energetic in a dramatic way, just clear, like my mind had space again, and I realized something important. I wasn't tired because I needed more sleep. I was tired because I needed space. Space between tasks. space between expectations, space between who I am and who I think I should be. Maybe you need space too. In English, we say, I need some breathing room. Breathing room. Repeat it. I need some breathing room. It means you need space to relax, to think, to exist without pressure. Maybe your tiredness is asking for breathing room. There's another possibility I want to gently explore with you. Sometimes we feel tired because we are disconnected from meaning. We wake up and we go through the same routine, same tasks, same conversations, same responsibilities. And over time, something inside us becomes quiet. When there is no excitement, no curiosity, no small spark of joy, energy becomes flat. Have you ever noticed that when you do something you love, you don't feel as tired? You might still be physically tired, but there's a different feeling, a kind of alive tired. After a long conversation with a good friend, after creating something with your hands, after learning something new, that tiredness feels different. It feels satisfying. In English, we might say, it was worth it. It was worth it. Repeat it slowly. It was worth it. When your days don't feel worth it, your energy slowly disappears. So maybe ask yourself another gentle question. What gives me energy? Not what impresses people. Not what makes money. But what gives me energy? Maybe it's reading quietly. Maybe it's walking in the evening. Maybe it's practicing English like this, listening and reflecting. Energy is not only about rest, it's also about meaning. And sometimes, tiredness is not asking you to sleep more. It's asking you to live differently. There was a time in my life when I said yes to everything, every invitation, every request, every responsibility. I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to be kind. But slowly, I started feeling resentful. Resentful is a strong word. Repeat it carefully. Resentful. It means you feel angry or frustrated because you feel something is unfair. I was tired because I was saying yes when I wanted to say no. And every time I ignored my own limits, I used energy. One day, I practiced a new sentence. I can't do that right now. I can't do that right now. Simple. Clear. Not rude. Just honest. The first time I said it, my heart was beating fast. But afterward, I felt lighter. Boundaries protect your energy. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are doors that you choose when to open. If you never close the door, you will always feel tired. Maybe your tiredness is asking you to protect your time, to protect your evenings, to protect your sleep. There's also something deeper we should acknowledge gently. Sometimes tiredness is connected to sadness. Not dramatic sadness, not loud crying, but a quiet, long sadness that sits in your chest. When you feel unmotivated, when nothing feels exciting, when even simple tasks feel heavy, that kind of tiredness deserves compassion, not criticism. If you ever feel that way for a long time, please remember that talking to someone is not weakness. Speaking to a professional, a counselor, a doctor, that is courage. Your mental health matters. Your emotional health matters. You matter. Let's practice a grounding sentence together. I deserve care. Say it slowly. I deserve care. Not because you are perfect, but because you are human. When you are kind to yourself, your body feels safer. And when your body feels safer, it can rest. Sometimes I imagine my tiredness as a small child pulling on my sleeve. Not shouting, just pulling gently, saying, "Please slow down." If you ignore the child, the pulling becomes stronger. If you listen, even for a moment, the child relaxes. Your tiredness might be that gentle pull, not an enemy, not a failure, just a signal. Tonight, before you sleep, try something different. Lie down and place one hand on your chest. Feel your breathing. And say quietly, "Thank you for carrying me today. Thank you for carrying me today." You can say it to your body, to your heart, to yourself. Gratitude softens exhaustion. And as you practice English, you are also practicing awareness. Notice how these sentences feel. I feel tired. I feel drained. I need rest. I need space. I deserve care. These are not just language exercises. They are emotional tools. When you can name your experience, you can change your experience. And maybe that is the most powerful part of learning a language. You are expanding your inner world. You are giving yourself more ways to understand what is happening inside you. So if you wake up tomorrow and you still feel tired, don't panic. Don't immediately judge yourself. Pause. Breathe. Ask gently, what is this tiredness trying to tell me? Maybe the answer will come slowly. Maybe it will take time. That's okay. Growth is not fast. Healing is not fast. Energy returns slowly, like sunlight in the morning. Soft at first, then brighter. Be patient with yourself. You are not meant to feel strong every day. You are not meant to be productive every hour. You are allowed to move at a human pace. And as you continue listening, speaking, repeating, reflecting, you are building something deeper than vocabulary. You are building self-trust. And self-trust gives you a different kind of energy. A calm energy. A steady energy. Not loud. Not dramatic. But sustainable. That is the kind of energy I hope you find. Not just more sleep, but more softness. Not just more productivity, but more peace. Stay with yourself. Listen carefully. Protect your rest. And remember, feeling tired does not mean you are failing. It might simply mean you have been trying very hard. And maybe now, it is time to try gently. Before we truly close this space today, I want to sit with you just a little longer. Because sometimes, when we talk about tiredness, we focus only on the present moment. We ask, why am I tired today? But tiredness is often a story that has been building for months, sometimes years. There is a kind of tiredness that comes from always being on, always responding, always performing, always adjusting yourself to fit the room. Maybe at work, you have to smile even when you feel stressed. Maybe with your family, You try to stay calm even when you feel overwhelmed. Maybe with friends, you pretend you are fine because you don't want to be a burden. That word is important. Burden. Repeat it softly. Burden. It means something heavy that you carry. Sometimes we are afraid of being a burden to others, so we carry everything alone. But carrying everything alone is heavy work, and heavy work creates deep tiredness. I remember a time when someone asked me, "How are you?" And I answered automatically, "I'm good." But inside, I wasn't good. Inside, I felt stretched thin. Stretched thin. That's another useful phrase. Stretched thin. It means you are doing too much with too little energy. Try saying it slowly. I feel stretched thin. There is something powerful about telling the truth, even in small ways. The next time someone asked me, I paused. And instead of saying, "I'm good," I said, "I'm a bit tired these days." Not dramatic, not negative, just honest. And the conversation changed. It became real. Sometimes we feel tired because we are disconnected from honesty. We are performing a version of ourselves that is strong, capable, positive. But inside, we are quietly exhausted. What if you allowed one small moment of honesty today? What if you said, "I'm feeling a little overwhelmed"? Overwhelmed. Repeat it. Overwhelmed. It means you feel like there is too much responsibility, too much emotion, too much noise. When you say the word slowly, it already feels lighter. Overwhelmed. Words create space. Language gives shape to feelings that were once just heavy and undefined. And when something has shape, it is easier to carry. There is also another reason we may feel tired after sleeping. Unfinished emotions. Sometimes, during the day, something hurts us. A comment, a memory, a disappointment. But we don't process it. We don't sit with it. We don't feel it fully. We push it aside because we have things to do. But emotions don't disappear just because we ignore them. They wait. And at night, when the world becomes quiet, they come back. Have you ever noticed that certain thoughts only appear when you are lying in bed? That is not a coincidence. Silence creates space, and space invites truth. If you never give yourself small moments of reflection during the day, your mind will use the night to catch up. And that can make your sleep feel restless. Restless. Say it gently. Restless. It means unable to relax, unable to fully settle. Maybe your sleep is not peaceful because your days are not processed. So what if, during the day, you paused for just 2 minutes? Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not what you should feel. Not what others expect you to feel. But what you actually feel. Angry. Sad. Anxious. Lonely. Relieved. Proud. When you allow emotions to move during the day, they don't have to shout at night. There was a period in my life when I felt tired every morning, no matter what I did. I tried sleeping earlier. I tried drinking less coffee. I tried exercising more. Some things helped a little, But the biggest change happened when I started journaling. Just 5 minutes before bed, I would write 3 simple sentences. Today I felt. Today I learned. Tomorrow I will. Nothing complicated. No perfect grammar. Just honesty. And slowly, I noticed something. My mind felt clearer at night, because it knew it had been heard. Heard. That word is powerful. We all want to be heard. And sometimes, the first person who needs to hear you is you. Maybe your tiredness is connected to not feeling heard. Not by others, and not by yourself. Let's practice something together. I am listening to myself. Say it slowly. I am listening to myself. When you listen to yourself, you begin to notice patterns. Maybe you notice that you always feel most tired on Sunday nights. Maybe you notice that after certain conversations, your energy drops. Maybe you notice that social media leaves you feeling empty instead of inspired. Awareness creates choice, and choice creates change. There is also physical rhythm to consider. Your body has a natural rhythm called a cycle, a daily rhythm. Some people feel most alive in the morning. Some feel more creative at night. If you are forcing yourself to live against your natural rhythm, you will feel tired. For example, if your body prefers slow mornings but you start every day with urgency and noise, you create friction. Friction uses energy. Imagine rubbing your hands together very fast. You feel heat. You feel tension. Living against your rhythm is like constant friction. So maybe ask yourself, when do I feel most clear? When do I feel most focused? Not when you think you should, but when you actually do. Sometimes tiredness is a signal that your lifestyle and your body are not in harmony. Harmony. Repeat it. Harmony. It means balance and agreement. When your actions and your needs are in harmony, energy flows more easily. And there is one more gentle truth. Sometimes we are tired because we are growing. Growth is not always exciting. It can be uncomfortable. It can be uncertain. If you are learning something new, changing careers, improving your English, building confidence, healing from old pain, that takes energy. You may not see the results immediately, but inside, your brain is building new pathways. Your heart is building new courage. That invisible work can make you tired, but it is meaningful tiredness, the kind that leads somewhere. If you are in a season of growth, be patient with your energy. You are not weak. You are expanding. Say that with me. I am expanding. I am expanding. Growth requires rest. Muscles grow during rest. The mind integrates learning during rest. You are allowed to rest while growing. In fact, rest is part of growth. If you only push, you will collapse. But if you push gently and rest intentionally, you build strength. Not fast strength, steady strength. I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from now. You wake up. You stretch. You breathe. And you feel stable. Not perfect. Not endlessly energetic. but stable. You understand your limits. You protect your rest. You speak honestly. You say no when needed. You choose meaningful activities. You allow yourself joy without guilt. That version of you is not impossible. It is built through small, daily awareness. Small changes. Small sentences. Small acts of kindness toward yourself. Tonight, instead of asking, "Why am I always tired?" maybe ask, "How can I be kinder to my energy?" Kinder to my energy. Say it softly. I will be kinder to my energy. Maybe that means sleeping without your phone beside your pillow. Maybe that means drinking water before coffee. Maybe that means going to bed 20 minutes earlier. Maybe that means saying no to one thing. Maybe that means speaking to someone about how you really feel. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You need consistency. Gentle consistency. If you feel tired, you are not broken. You are responding. Responding to pressure. Responding to growth. Responding to unspoken emotions. Responding to imbalance. Your tiredness is information. And information is useful. Listen to it. Not with fear, but with curiosity. As you continue practicing English, remember this. Every time you repeat a sentence with awareness, you are strengthening more than language. You are strengthening presence. When you say, "I feel tired," you are practicing emotional clarity. When you say, "I need rest," you are practicing self-advocacy. When you say, "I deserve care," you are practicing self-respect. This is not just listening practice. This is life practice. So tomorrow morning, if your eyes open and you still feel heavy, place your hand on your chest for a moment. Breathe in slowly, and instead of criticizing yourself, say, "I am doing my best. I am doing my best." Then ask gently, "What is one small thing I can do to support myself today?" One small thing. Not 10. Not everything. Just one. Small actions, repeated daily, change energy over time. Be patient with your body. Be patient with your mind. Be patient with your journey. You are not falling behind. You are moving at your pace, and that pace is enough. Thank you for staying with me in this quiet reflection. Thank you for being brave enough to ask deeper questions about your tiredness. You are not alone in this, and you are capable of creating a life that feels more aligned, more balanced, more restful. Keep noticing. Keep adjusting. Keep speaking honestly in English and in your life. And now, as we gently come to the end of this episode, I want you to take one more slow breath with me. Inhale and exhale. If you remember nothing else from today, remember this: feeling tired does not mean you are failing at life. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are lazy. Sometimes it simply means you have been carrying more than you realized. Sometimes it means you are growing. Sometimes it means you need rest that reaches deeper than sleep. You have learned new words today: tired, drained, burned out, overwhelmed, restless, breathing room, harmony. But more importantly, you have practiced listening not just to English, but to yourself. And that is powerful. Language is not only about speaking correctly, it is about speaking honestly. So tonight, or tomorrow morning, when that familiar heaviness appears, don't fight it immediately. Pause, place your hand on your chest, and say gently, I am listening. Because the more you listen to yourself, the clearer your needs become. And the clearer your needs become, the more aligned your life can feel. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to grow at a human pace. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for practicing, reflecting, and being open. This is English with Thomas. I'm Thomas. Keep speaking, keep growing, and keep trusting yourself.